My name is Ridwan Karim Dini Osman. I'm from Ghana.
Okay,
I want to understand like the level of collaboration between yourself and the scientists. And I think also during our fellowship, it has come up, and I have been to other fora where it has come up. It's usually about the dosage.
Good.
You know, sometimes we just give the
take care.
Then the patient would have to now measure what to take and stuff. What would be your thoughts on that? And finally, how are you training other people to ensure that, I mean, the knowledge doesn't just stay with you? Thank you.
Yeah, collaborating with science, when I was the head, we were able to develop policy. We have policy in this field, it's not new. We have, like I told him, pharmacopoeia, and we bring in as committee of experts drawn from the academia and drawn from the practitioners. So you have a heterogeneous group, and when we're able to bring in more science to what is known. And we use, for example, we have herbal pharmacopoeia. The first herbal pharmacopoeia was 2008, where it contained about 60 medicinal plants in Nigeria. And we have also reversed it to add another 100. So there is that scientific meeting. It's very good. We are sharing with the scientists, but the practitioners...
Sorry, the pharmacopoeia, just explain.
Okay, pharmacopoeia, sorry. You know what it means by pharmacopoeia? It's a document that contains collection of medicinal plants with some scientific standards. Yes. You know, in this they will say the name, the botanical name, climatic condition, the where it is grown, the constituents, the microbiological test to determine all safety and all these things, and to even talk about the dosage and to talk about the therapeutic use. So it's a fantastic one. It's a reference handbook. So if you want to find out about such things, you can have that handbook. And African, even West African pharmacopoeia, we have developed it in collaboration with West African countries. Ghana was prominently there. We have Kofi Busau. I don't know whether I know Kofi Busau. When you go to Ghana, look for him. He's one of the foremost experts in the area of promoting herbal medicine. So there has been that. It's just that we could do better and better and better. We are documenting, we are getting the practitioners, we are training them, at least in basic standards. We have code of conduct, ethics for them, and curriculum is being developed now for us, even in the local language. Tell them in their own, if you don't speak English, speak your Kenyan language to tell me that this leaf is useful. I will write it. There will be somebody who will interpret it one day. Because if not, we will be lost. Must you speak English? No. Those people, do they know English? But they give you. So it's a way for us to forget our own. But now we know. So do it. Somebody will interpret it. You know, I met an American when I went to study Chinese traditional medicine. She was on the bed. I was greeting her. She said, you know, they told me I will soon die 3 months in America. I came to China. I'm here. And when I leave, when I'm well, I will read Chinese medicine. So there has to be something for that. And then dosage is something perennial every time. Where is, look, understand one thing and understand it very well. Herbal medicine, nutraceutical, phytomedicine is slightly different from pharmaceutical medicine. My paracetamol contains an active ingredient combined with things that support it. My herbal medicine contains so many ingredients, chemicals. The dose has to be different. Their dosage method has to be different. You cannot say, because I said 2 tablets of paracetamol, I must only tell you 2 tablets. If I put my herbal medicine, which is now available in different forms, in different dosage forms, you see them in tablets now, you see them in capsules, you see them in pills, then I'll give you the dosage. Or I tell you a teaspoonful. Is teaspoonful not a measurement? That is for the knowledge that we have advanced from our grandparents. When they tell you take it now, we say hold on. Everything you take here is labeled with a dosage. 1 teaspoon in a teacup, 250 ml of boiling water. Is that not the dosage? It is not the same as paracetamol.
The dose, that's full dosage.
Exactly. The way paracetamol is, my colleague, when you want to produce pharmaceutical drugs, you put a lot of poisonous chemicals. Yes. Poisonous chemicals, even if you smell them, you can die. But it's being teleguided scientifically. If you know what was put to extract one thing, it's not easy. Hence, they must tell you the dose. Get it clear?
Absolutely.
There is dosage in herbal medicine according to how it is produced. This is what I want you to take home now. They keep on telling me, I say, for the over 30 years we have been talking this. Why do you keep on taking me back? And there is standardization now. We are talking of standardizing it. What do you mean by standardizing it? Quality production, quality processing, quality individuals that are used, quality equipment. What else do you want? If I like, from plant to medicine, if I want. Even the cultivation of the medicinal plants now, we call what we call good agricultural cultivation practices. We have good harvesting practices. When we now harvest, we have standards for processing, where you collect it, where you dry it with a temperature regulator that will not allow antimicrobial contamination with that temperature. So you produce the herbs and then you package it where you want to package it, either as powdered herbs. And for international politics, let me give you an example. When we're taught, there is a medicine called danshin. Danshin is made of 3 herbs produced in China. So they process it and they get pills. So I asked the old professor, I said, sir, these 3 herbs and these pills, which one has stronger efficacy? You know, I need to ask him. You know what he told me? Please take this clearly. He said, more medicinal value is the herbs when you brew at home. But for international politics and standardization, the pills goes. Do you understand? Yes. So if I want to go international market, I know the standards I will put. Even if it's not going to be as effective as that, you will agree with the standard because that's the one I'm following. But for you at home, that's why I'm formulating 24 of my products specially are now going through the process of listing. And you know what I did? I have the tea bags, I have the powder, loose herbs. Brew it, because if you brew the herbs, you get more of the extracts. The tea bags constrict the distinct. But for convenience, you take it along. So everything has a good side, it has a disadvantage.
Thank you so much.
You see, you know, in these pharmacies, I always teach, I do everything, they come. But you know, some of these people, his passion or an interest. 1996 to date, how many years?
28 years.
This is where I've been here. When I started, my colleagues were laughing at me. This madam is mental. But I know what I was doing. Now I have them. We are interested, and then we are trying to establish institute. So, and now there is a program going on to train more people in science. Even you can get a certification in herbal medicine thrown to you if you open. So there is that attempt. And in my pharmacy, this pharmacy is about 8 months old. It's still pretty new. I have 3 pharmacists with me, and one of them, thank God, is my daughter.
All we are seeing here, they are very interesting. In fact, I'm even seeing hypertensive medicine and all that. So my question is this: how far has traditional medicine gone in research and production of medicines for peculiar African problems? Let me be specific: fibroid and sickle cell. Because it seems the Western world is food dragging because they are not very serious diseases in their world compared to ours.
You see, research, like we know, you find that most governments don't support research. African countries, you know now. But we have to strong advocate. We have research institutes in Nigeria. We have the Pharmaceutical Research Institute. We have the Natural Medicine Development Agency, and they are doing their best to look at it, especially sickle cell. You know, we had one of our products from sickle cell from the Pharmaceutical Research called Niprid. They produce the Nicosan. Nicosan that has now been taken over by May and Baker at a commercial quantity. At least that helps to take care of sickle cell. And some of us, we know the plants. I look at plants. Let me tell you. You see, everything is simple analysis. What do you mean by sickle cell? There is so much, simple English, there is so much bad red blood cells are compared to good blood cells. Okay? So the bad blood cells, red blood cells are overshadowing the good blood cells. So that the good blood cells don't have enough energy or enough oxygen to do the work. So what do? One approach, because in the knowledge of natural plants, what can you do to these bad blood cells? Please quickly wash them away. There is a plant that can say go away. And then the good blood cells, what do you do with them? There are plants that say strengthen them. Okay, so you strengthen them. While you are removing the bad one, you are strengthening that one. And again, you are increasing the hemoglobin content of this using plants. Any green plant contains chlorophyll. And you know what chlorophyll does? It will increase the blood volume. And then you look at the pains, we have anti-inflammatory and analgesic plants. So if you look at those lines, then you can formulate.
So I'm concerned about cross-border collaboration, especially, let's look at West Africa in the first place.
Yes, West Africa.
Collaborating to make sure that, you said, we've gone 2 decades now.
In that African traditional medicine.
In traditional medicine.
Yes.
There's not much to be shown. There's no political will.
Really, yes.
You got some authority. I know the BBC always have you preaching the message. But how far have you gone trying to collaborate with your colleagues, push governments from outside of Nigeria to tell them that Nigeria has taken the first step, Ghana has taken the first step, Liberia, why don't you take the next step, or Cote d'Ivoire, why don't you take the next step? My next question has to do with, recently the World Health Organization go out, because you were very specific a lot on malaria. And malaria is something that is killing Africans a lot, and funding. So the WHO go out malaria vaccine. Liberia and Senegal were. So comparatively, do you think you can match that one?
Let me talk about the collaboration. You have heard of WAHO, West African Health Organization. One of the mandates is bringing the West African countries together. And in the area of traditional medicine, it has done that. So we do go for meetings with the 15 African countries. That means there is the Anglophone and the Francophone. So we do that. We have been able to harmonize some policies. We have worked on, there is West African pharmacopoeia too. In that West African pharmacopoeia, you can have all the other plants that are in the West African sub-region. And that's why you see countries, when we go, I always admire Ghana. Ghana has set up a degree program earlier in the area of herbal medicine. Ghana did not care about the mentality. They have a BSc program in herbal medicine. They have clinics. They are doing well. They have herbal experts that are graduates. And even into the research, they are doing well. The Center for Disease Control in Mampo, they are doing a lot. If African order, the next country that they are also trying, because when I go there, they also admire Nigeria. We are doing well. But me, I don't, Ghana is trying. I will rate Ghana number 1 because they already have their own legal, they have their law.
Why do you think African governments are sleeping?
Because the donors will say, take money, take dollars, we will give you everything. So you will not face, on your own, what will you get? You now, if I tell you, if you are coming to Nigeria, I will give you Naira. You go to London, I'll give you pounds. Where will you go?
Depending the interest.
So that's you. But we know what is happening. So, but we could be better. You know, my own, you can mix green. Still take the dollar and take the Naira and do in between. I think that is the wisdom you should use. If we can decide to set aside money for research into our own local content, it will help us, while we are also accepting the donors, because they must be there. So that you don't get me wrong, I say they should go away. They have their role to play. Yes, they do help us.
Thank you for receiving us. I work with Premium Times as a health journalist from Lagos State. So I have a question, but then I would like to still speak on the aspect where you said we need to start supporting and encouraging, herbal medicinal practitioners and all. Because before now, I always have this kind of mindset that you need to first go to a hospital, you need to first go to a medical doctor to diagnose you, to, recommend some medications and all that.
Yes.
And then we always try to see herbal medicine as, what if they are misleading you? What if you develop some form of complications? That even our stories these days, we try to paint the herbal medicine, but because of the mindset that we have also developed and all. So great work we are doing here. So my question will be on technology, back to science, because looking at it, before you can actually recommend doses and all that, you need to have the diagnosis.
Sure.
You need to confirm whether this person is hypertensive.
Right.
You need to confirm whether this is typhoid or malaria.
Yes.
So how have you been able to move in that aspect? How do you diagnose your patients and recommend them?
You see, that's why number 1 is a very good important question, because you have the experts. The doctors are there to diagnose and prescribe, and each of the other health team has its own drug. The pharmacist is there to give the drugs. You see, let me tell you, the herbalists, they have their own system of diagnosis. If you go to China, they don't use stethoscope. They will ask you certain questions. There's a way they talk to your pulse. They will know which problem you have. That is their own system of diagnosis. So if I'm a doctor, I would like to go and study that their own system and add to my own. Don't criticize anyone. So they have their own system, they know how they diagnose, and they prescribe accordingly. And they use their own health. If you hear Chinese, you say yin and yang, kappa, beta. That's their system. If you go to read their medicine, and that's what they use. So they have their own system, and it's good for them. And we, the Orthodox people, we have our own system, and we use it. But what is better now is that, can we all combine synergy? If I'm a medical doctor, I would like to go and read some aspect of complementary medicine so that I can add to my knowledge. If I'm a pharmacist, I would like to read herbal medicine so that I can add to my knowledge. Knowledge should be wider. Medicine is dynamic. Things are going differently. And then for you to say that the herbalists, you don't like them because there is this mentality, go and now try and reduce that mentality, remove it. They have their role. Lagos is doing very well in traditional medicine.
Very well.
They have their traditional medicine board.
Yes.
They regulate it. They are very rich. You guys that are Orthodox, you don't have money as they have. You'll be speaking English. Honestly, if I give you a practitioner that produces one product, that guy so far, the day when I was in Ministry of Health, I was analyzing him to bring scientific evidences. He brought the team of scientists working with him from Unilag. He has sold over 2 billion then. Me as a pharmacist, my salary is 300,000. So what are you going to tell them? Even as a Orthodox doctor, if you are working in your clinic, how many patients do you attend to? How many do you see? So if you open that window, learn something, look at them. What we are trying to do in the ministry, if there is the challenge we have is that there is no regulation. Council. The council, the bill is currently at the National Assembly to pass. When we pass, it will be regulation. And then the practitioners we are calling referral system. If they do this, they know they cannot do it. They refer to the experts. With that, we'll have a better harmony. This is what they do in India, this is what they do in China. Do you know if you want to read medicine, herbal medicine or Ayurvedic medicine in India, it's 5 years. If you want to read Orthodox medicine, it's 5 years. What are they doing? They are developing their own with the English one. But here, they don't even want you to hear. How will they have fed their billions of people in terms of healthcare if they don't promote their own? So we must look at our own, and we pray that we shall look at this. And media has to talk and talk and talk and talk. And once you are convinced, please make the noise. And I want you to believe, because if you do that, even Almighty God will reward you all of it.
Okay, final question from Justina.
What's your advice? The cost of drugs now is very expensive. So what is now your advice to people who, especially those who are facing diabetes, a serious ailment?
You see, that's why we are saying we look at alternatives to synergize and support. Because the medicine are imported. They are expensive. But if we're able to produce our own in the local content, we would help our people now. At least they will have, especially in prevention. We can prevent some of these diseases if we're able to take some of these nutraceuticals. Your mother used to give you a book. Did you ask her why is she giving you a book? It was to detox, to remove your waste, so that you can be healthy. You won't have chances. You know, all of us here now, God forbid, I will never take agbo, I will never take this thing. They were taking it to remove waste and toxins from their system. You are healthy. But now you drink all these oily foods, you take ice cream, you take all sorts, and they are, when you go to the body, they are toxic. But you don't have a means of washing them. Natural medicine, herbal medicine, is the only medicine that can emphasize on detoxification. And when you detoxify your organs, they are healthier. And even the Orthodox drug will work faster because the organs have been told. Do you understand? There is no way we need all of them together. Everyone has its own law and its level.
Thank you very much, bye.
Thank you.